Welcome to Often Pacing for Snooze Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Often Pacing. We have got Aiden De Campo, who was dominating on Friday night. He's coming up and joining us on the show very soon. We've also got Ollie County standing by after a wonderful W night on Friday night, and Ollie joins us now. Very good morning to you, Ollie.
Morning, Matt. It was a fantastic night of racing there on Friday. Looks like there's some really nice horses to come out of the meeting, and really looking forward to dissecting it with you.
Yeah, plenty of feature races. We saw the two Group 1s, Wishing Bell and Ideal Beach, and I don't think there was too out of the ordinary to see both of those horses win. Wishing Bell, she was very gutsy with her win. On Category 5, I thought was first class in serving it up to Wishing Bell, but she just finds a way to do what she needs to do and get the job done, and it looks like she just does it in effortless style. What was your takeaway from Wishing Bell's win?
Yeah, I was pretty confident that I'm Category 5 would run a very good race there and would just about be able to beat Wishing Bell, but in the end, Wishing Bell was, as you suggested in the preview, just different gravy, and she was able to sit outside I'm Category 5 and win pretty comfortably in the end by 4.9 metres. Certainly, I'm Category 5 was a very good run there in second, and she lost no admirer. She was terrific as well, but that winner, she's just a bit of a star, and she's clearly just too good for those two-year-old Westbred fillies at the moment. So, yeah, it'll take something really special to beat her, I think, and at the moment, she just looks head and shoulders above the rest. What was your takeaway, Matt?
Ideal Beach. Yeah, I thought she was exceptional, and you just know, I could see Aiden De Campo slapped on the rump with about a lap to go and went up alongside. But as you mentioned in the post-race interview, that she just dropped into another gear when he was able to kick the plugs and ask her for a supreme effort, and she just kept finding. And yes, it's good horse qualities to be able to do that. And he entertained the idea of taking on the boys in the Golden Slipper, and I'd love to see it, to be fair to, with all due respect. I think she's right up there with the boys in her fighting qualities, which is going to hold her in good stead. And she's out of a superstar mare who has taken on the boys and was dominant back in the day, so no reason breeding-wise that she should be scared about going against the boys in the Slipper or the Derby next season, and the Nugget further on. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. It's really exciting for Aiden and Connections, and they nearly brought the grandstand down when she loomed up and went on by at the top of the straight, so it's fantastic to see. Ideal Beach had the draw, looked his race on paper. He was heavily backed. He was able to lead throughout and win. He extended nicely in the concluding stages. Thought Better Move Matty was really good in defeat into second place. He's a very smart horse in his own right. What was your takeaway from the boys' Group 1?
Yeah, he was just dominant, Ideal Beach, and he looked likely to win a pre-race as well, and he was so comfortable in that heat, just doing things under his own steam, and pretty much the same there on Friday night. He just made it into a bit of a dash home, and he ran 27.9 for the last quarter, which is pretty sharp, and totally agree with your thoughts on Better Move Matty. He was terrific there in second. He came wide and was still able to run past his stablemate American Machine, who's seemingly just gotten better and better each run, and he was really good there on Friday. He did get that soft run on the pegs, but I thought he was quite a good effort to only be beaten 6.2 metres. El Maestro just, he found it all a little bit too tough there, but he did do the work outside the leader, and he's had a few tough runs recently, so certainly a few excuses for El Maestro, and he's still a really nice horse moving forward, and I'm sure there'll be some really good battles between El Maestro, Better Move Matty, and Ideal Beach in the next few months to come.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We need some horses to follow out of Friday, and some good quality horse flesh there, so I'd imagine that there's a couple of nice ones for us to be able to get involved with after some exciting racing on Friday. Let's have a look back to last week. Horses to follow, Major Freeways in today. Are you confident about Major Freeway potentially being able to break through for a well-deserved win today?
Yeah, well, I thought he was terrific last week, wasn't he? He was sat outside the leader and did plenty of work there and was still able to not be beaten far and still running a placing. So it looks like a bit of a step back in grade today, doesn't it? And he might be able to work up outside the leader again. And if he's able to work up outside the leader without doing too much work, I think he's going to be pretty hard to hold out. As you suggested on the preview, there might be a little bit going on early with Tri-Rail Brigade potentially trying to find a spot. And I thought he was probably the main danger to Major Freeway, and if Major Freeway is able to beat Tri-Rail Brigade, I think he can win the race.
Yeah, no, I'm Lightning Banner. We're still waiting to see him. That was your horse to follow last week, and Always Be Frank, who races today. He raced well on Saturday in here, and he looks a good player again today. We'll talk about him soon. My three were from last week was Soho Moonraker, who's yet to race again. Fly to Finish yet to race again. Gilmac raced on Saturday night and was successful. So hopefully the horses to follow, we can continue on in that trend. Who are the three for you on Friday night to put into the black book?
I've got one out of the mares race, and Copycat Queen, she was a dominant winner, and she looks a really exciting mare going forward. She's just been awesome this time in. But I've got one that was able to run fifth there, Loctay. I think she's just going super at the moment, and she's a mare with quite good gate speed as well. And she showed a bit of gate speed on Friday, but she wasn't able to get across to the inside, and she was left off the pegs there and got shuffled back a little bit. And in the end, she was still running on quite well late in a race that was sort of dominated by horses that were a little bit closer to the speed. The second horse was three back the pegs, and the third horse was out in front there. So I thought Loctay was a good effort to run into it late. She's eligible for a bit easier than this type of race. So I think if she's able to zip over, get a bit of cover in a race, I certainly think she could be one that's running into the finish again, hopefully at a bit of a price. I thought out of the sixth race, which was taken out by that very impressive filly in Wishing Bell, I thought Sky High Adder really was terrific there in third, was a terrific run on debut as well when running into a really impressive second, and then backed that up impressively on Friday night, just really stepping up again in grade, being able to run into third there and close strongly in the concluding stages. And I'm sure will have taken a lot of benefit out of that just second run in such a strong race. So really looks a nice horse moving forward for Jocelyn Young there, Sky High Adder, and I definitely think she can be a player in some of those fillies races going forward. My third horse to follow was out of the 2-year-old boys race, which was taken out by Ideal Beach, and I thought Wheels of Fortune didn't have a lot of luck in that race, got shuffled back and was caught wide when they were sprinting up, and just nothing went right for him. But I've been really impressed by him this time in. He seems to be a bit of a professional, so if he's able to draw a better gate soon in a slightly easier race, I definitely think Wheels of Fortune can win again there. What were your horses to follow out of Friday, Matt?
Yeah, look, I agree with you 100% with Sky High Adder, and I'm pretty keen on that horse going forward. I like Del Boca Vista Bay in the first. I thought this horse, with a pair of 28s on the way home, he hit the line like he had something left to offer, and he was getting to a gap late, and I just like the way that he ran through the line. So I don't think he's far off winning a race again, Del Boca Vista Bay, and a bit similar to how you mentioned about a Loctay. I think Del Boca Vista Bay is actually eligible for a lot easier than that. Major Mickey Whitby, I thought, was a big time follow on Friday. I've got a lot of time for this horse. A lot of people that have probably listened to the preview have understood that I'm a bit of a fan of Major Mickey Whitby. He was breathing fire just behind them, couldn't get a crack in the race that Lazy Days won. I thought he was decent at Pinjarra when he got beaten. I expected him to win, obviously, but yeah, just like what I saw on Friday night. So I think he's trending in the right direction. He's going to be winning some races very soon. And Sky High Adder, for a horse who only had 2 starts, she's exceptional. She was going nearly sideways. She was hanging, racing green, and for her turn of foot, it was first class. So I think Sky High Adder is a big time follow going forward. So yeah, Del Boca Vista Bay, Major Mickey Whitby, and Sky High Adder, my 3 to go with your Loctay, Sky High Adder, we're doubling down, and Wheels of Fortune. Pinjarra today, we've got 8 races tomorrow at Gloucester Park as well. What can you find us in a way of a winner at Pinjarra today, Ollie?
Well, the first one I've come up with is no huge value in race 2 in Aldebaran Boy, but I really do think he can be the lock for a bit of a multi-builder or something like that. I think he's just really well handicapped in this race, coming off just 10 metres when the dangers do look to be the horses that are coming off bigger handicaps. Chimani is first up here, so that's a bit of a query. Love of Flair just faces that really big 50-metre handicap, so she's a really nice mare, and she's been good and for so long, and she's so consistent, but 50 metres does look a really, really big task for her today to overcome. So I think Aldebaran Boy can just get safely off that 10-metre handicap, can hopefully find the front at some stage, and from there I think he's going to be really hard to catch. He seemed to win that last race just all under his own steam, did it pretty easily, so I'm expecting him to be hard to beat, but certainly, as you mentioned on the preview, that 2,600 is maybe a slight concern, but I think just with that big handicap advantage, that offsets that record at the 2,600, and hopefully he can be the first leg to a few multis there. And then in the next race, in one of the later races, I was hoping that Bobby Waterhouse would win, have a share in him, but the horse that'll get a really good run on his back is Galveston John. I thought he can just slot in straight behind Bobby Waterhouse, and he's a horse that's ideally suited to this lightning lap racing. Galveston John, he's always a horse that has really good speed, and if he's able to just tuck in behind the leader there, I think he's a really, really good value to place, and he's certainly one that we can put in exotics behind the short price favourite in running second or third there, and Kyle Harper taking the drive is certainly another plus for Galveston John, so I think he can run a place. And then later in the card, one that I came up with the other day as a horse to follow was Always Be Frank, and he was really good there on Saturday. He was able to tuck in, throw back the pegs, and was able to run second to He's a Vibe, who's been a back-to-back winner, so he's certainly in good form, and that looks pretty good form for a race like this. And he has quite good gate speed as well, Always Be Frank, so I think he can zip off the gate, has options from there, whether he wants to take a sit or attempt to lead all the way. He certainly had some success in the past when leading all the way, so he's a versatile horse. He looks to get every chance from gate one, and I think he looks really good each way value at the moment, essentially on a 1x3, 1x4 basis. So my 3 for today are out of the second race, the lock, Aldebaran Boyd, then race 4, Galveston John place, and later in the card, race 6, race 5, Always Be Frank each way. What were yours today, Matt?
Okay, so you're across the board there with a winner place and an each way play. Look, I'm going into races 5, 6 and 7. I was also with Always Be Frank on an each way basis. I thought he would run a really good race. The price has just gone out of him a little bit. He's 11 into 850 with Tab Touch, 175 a place, but looks really good opportunity for him to run a good race. They've got options from the draw, and there's a few question marks on a couple of the ones drawn out wider. So Always Be Frank will run a really good race there. Race 6, where a race I think Hilby Bondi can win. I thought Faster Than Dad was a good place chance in that event. I think he's been racing in probably just as strong fields, and expecting him to be getting home quite well off the back row with a genuine tempo in the race. And race 7, I was very keen on Better Than Secret each way. I thought would be leaders back, and then have a good look at them up the sprint lane. And from there, I thought was a major player of being able to return into the winners list. Had a tough draw and tough run on Saturday night at Bunbury, and gets a really good opportunity here. And I think a much more suitable race. So race 7, number 1, each way, Better Than Secret. Race 6, number 9, for the place, Faster Than Dad. And race 5, number 1, Always Be Frank, each way. Rolling into tomorrow's meeting at Gloucester Park, 2 that I've identified for the meeting. Races 2 and 6 for me. Race 2, Sid Strepper, I thought was a really good place chance. It looks like a car and Navajo should be able to lead and probably win the race. And if you get anything north of $1.60 about Sid Strepper, I loved his last run. I think he's a really good place chance. So race 2, number 2, And in race 6, number 5, Miss Bejeweled, I think returns. Aiden De Campo drives. We'll have a chat to Aiden very soon. And I like this horse. Last preparation, I thought she had an abundance of speed. I like that she's been placed first up over the mile. And I think this is a really suitable race for her. So race 6, number 5, Miss Bejeweled, I was confident could have a winning return. Race 2, number 2, Sid Strepo on a place basis. What were your two for tomorrow, Ollie?
I've got a couple in the first 2 races, so I won't make us wait too long. I've got one in the first, and it's Krakatini. This horse has been going around for a long time and has always been a pretty honest horse. I think gate 2 here is a perfect draw for him. He's probably not a horse that shows brilliant gate speed anymore, but I think from gate 2, wherever he does land in the run, he's certainly going to be hard to hold out late. Toby Lynn jumping on, he's been driving well recently, so I certainly think that's a bit of a bonus there. And Krakatini, although he hasn't won in a while, I actually think he's starting to go okay again recently. He's been thereabouts midfield in maybe slightly stronger races than he comes up against here, where a lot of the horses might be not quite at their absolute best. So if he can secure a good run somewhere, I certainly think he can be somewhere in the finish. And then in race 2, I totally agree with your thoughts, Matt, on Sid Strepo. I think Sid Strepo can just tuck in behind that leader there, and he's always been a horse that's probably gone best driven for his sprint capacity, and he gets the perfect opportunity to do that there tomorrow night. And if he gets a look at them late, he's always got a very good 150, 200-metre sprint on him. So if they did go too hard, he might be a slight knockout hope, but I certainly think he's a lock for the placings there. So my two for tomorrow are race 1, Krakatini, and race 2, Sid Strepo Place.
Thank you very much for your time this morning, Ollie. We'll chat again to you next week, and hopefully a few winners there over the next 48 hours.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Matt.
There we have Ollie County joining us here on Off and Pacing. We'll have a short break. Aiden De Campo the other side.
You are listening to Off and Pacing for Lane Tomich's Snooze in Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Welcome back to Off and Pacing. We're having a chat with Aiden De Campo. We spoke to him a few weeks ago about the idea of a few of these horses heading towards a big campaign in the Westbred Classics, and we are able to see the results from Friday night. It's been first class, a roller coaster weekend emotionally for Aiden De Campo, but he joins us now. We'll chat about harness racing. Aiden, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matty. Yeah, no footy talk this week, mate.
Have you come to terms with what a night Friday night is, not just for the horse flesh, the owners, but for yourself personally and for your own brand of Four Diamonds Pacing? Has it sunk in what a night you've had on after Friday?
Not really. Back into it Saturday morning in the rain was a good reality check, but yeah, no, it's something I'll probably look back on throughout the week and maybe later in the season once the job's done with a lot of these horses towards the end of the season. Probably look back on it and probably realise how big of a night it actually was. I know there was a lot of moving parts to get all the horses there. We had a big team in and it was a stressful couple of weeks leading up with the weather and all that kind of thing. But yeah, went as probably as good as we could have planned it.
Yeah, and you've got like Copycat Queen. We've spoken about her in length about her sort of inconsistent form last preparation, and you tipped her out and you brought her back. But do you have the idea of the Mayor's Classic in mind for her with her performances over the longer trip and what she's been producing this time in? Has she gone from being sort of, I guess, a question mark over how good she could be to now she's really leading the charge for you heading towards the Mayor's Classic? Is that how you see her now?
Yeah, I think so, Matt. She was super on Friday. Actually surprised me how quick I got to him down the back straight. She hit the front, with so much ease and kept her going. She won so easily and she's pulled up really good. This time in her form's been faultless, really. So, I'll probably aim for that Mayor's Classic. May even just have a little look at the 4-year-old races leading up to it. Just the way she gets driven. Genuinely run races in those 4-year races, she might be worth having a crack at those as well. But we'll just see the strength of those fields and all that kind of thing. But at this stage, that's where we'll be heading.
Wishing Bell, she was outstanding again. At what point do you start looking at the potential races over east, maybe next campaign, or is that something that you've started to entertain the idea of, that she could be a quality horse that could be taken over in the eastern states and really make a name for herself and yourself in Victoria or Sydney?
I haven't really thought of it, Matt. You always want to find horses that are good enough to travel. As a 2-year-old, there's way too much money in our own backyard to even worry about doing it. I'll just see what the plan is for early next year. There's good money up for them sales classics again in late Feb, early March. So a couple $100,000 races there. So I will just play it by ear with her. She'll go out for a good break now. She's done a really good job. I kind of toyed up taking on the boys in the slipper, but just another 3 weeks in works is probably a little bit too long for her. She's pulled up really well, but I'd rather send her out on a high note rather than go on another 3 weeks and maybe just being on the down low and then stepping up to take the boys. But she's a absolute super filly. She just never gives in. Just a beautiful horse to train. She's there's no trick to train her. I don't think it matters what you do with her. She'll come out and race good. So she probably makes me look better than I am at the moment, which is really good.
And better move Matty out of the boys. He was a really good effort. He looks like he's been a little bit of a work in progress, but there seems to be a lot of revs in the engine.
Yeah, he was really good. Wanted to run up the track a little bit on Friday night, which probably isn't really his go. He normally gets down the track, but I thought he ran as good as he could from the way the race worked out. I was probably more happy to hold the breeze and run a genuine middle stage, but when Robbie's horse got there so quick, probably had to take the trail, and the lead just got away with too much and was too good in the end. But his run was really, really good, and he'll push on to the slipper now.
It's my time. What are we expecting from her after Friday night's win?
Yeah, she probably didn't pull up the best after the run. She does have a lot of feet troubles, and she was a little bit funny in the warm-up, but warmed out of it, and then she got the job done. But probably hasn't pulled up as well as I would have liked her to. So she'll be just doing some slow jog work for a week or two, and then she'll probably first up into the Oaks, I reckon. Off 4 weeks, we'll just pour heaps of work into her into the sand here and keep her off the hard tracks, and patch those feet up, and hopefully have her ready to roll for the Oaks. And
looking at runners in today and tomorrow, you've got a pretty quiet day for your standards today at Pinjarra. Having a look and just the couple of drives. Rock Me Over firstly. He's been racing well. Could you entertain him as an each-way chance in race 6?
Yeah, he's racing good without being at his brilliant best, I think, Matty. He was fair last start to his standards, but he's a horse that never really runs a real bad race, so it probably just depend on what trip he gets in running, I would have thought.
And Rock and Roll Nugget is just a bridge too far from the draw for him?
Yeah, definitely. He was a lot better last start, but just did things wrong early, so he'll struggle to kind of get into it from 12, but look, when he gets back in the draw, he's probably not far away.
We'll have a chat about your runners on the Tuesday as well. Mickey Windermere, formerly with Uncle Steve. You've got this horse now. What can you tell us about Mickey Windermere before his return?
Yeah, he's worked up quite good, Matty. He's a lazy kind of horse, but seems to be working on the coattails of some half-decent ones at home. So, I expect him to run a good race. He's probably going to need the run a little bit. He's holding a fair bit of condition still, but I'll give him probably an each-way chance from that bad barrier in that race. He just probably a little bit of race fitness lacking, but I think he's got enough ability to kind of run through a few more grades this time in.
2-year-old maiden, Miss Bejeweled. She looks like she's got a lot of high speed. You take the drive on her. Sweeter the better. Has looked decent in trials and is well bred. Who you fancy out of these two going into this race tomorrow?
A bit of a hard one, Matty. They've worked up together, these two, and you can't really split them at home. So I'll just say whichever one probably gets a better run. I just kind of drove Miss Bejeweled just because she can be a little bit erratic in her races. So I'd just say whatever one probably gets a better run in racing. I think they're probably the two class horses of the race. So hopefully one of them can take it out.
it's very unlikely to jump off a winning chance. So I'd imagine Miss Bejewel's going to be pretty hard to beat. Aiden, thank you for your time. Well done on Friday night. It's great to see, and it's great to see how you get a whole group of owners, so many people, different people from all facets of life basically together in a syndicate, and it's wonderful to see them. They're celebrating on Friday nights, and not just celebrating their own horse's success, but just the stable success. It's wonderful to see the Four Diamonds merch out on show as well. So well done to you, and it's a great business that you're running. So hopefully more success coming your way, and hopefully a couple of winners in the next few days. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Matty. It's it is good, having those big groups of syndicates, and even the people that weren't involved in the direct horses that won, they were still celebrating like they did, and pretty sure a few of them sneaked into the winners' room as well and got a couple free ones off Gloucester Park, so that's always handy. But it's kind of what you do it for, when you see people's faces and how happy they were, and it just kind of makes you so excited. So definitely helps you getting up in the morning.
I'll tell you what, just before we let you go, you must have felt good on Friday night. You would have had a free pass to be able to barbecue one or drive a bad race, because your dad couldn't even speak. He was raspy voiced. You wouldn't have been able to cop a spray off of him.
Yeah, he's been a bit crook, the big fella. Didn't even have too many beers on Friday. He actually was doing some work down the stable, so it's good to have him back from holidays and giving us a hand.
All the best, mate.
Thanks for that.
There we have Aiden De Campo joining us here on Awesome Pacing. That's us done and dusted for this Monday morning. Pinjarra today, 8 races, and Gloucester Park tomorrow. Good luck and good punting, and we'll get into race day. Have a very good morning.